everyone, and welcome to the concluding episode of the series, Did Jesus Exist? This series has been so fun to make, and I'm glad that Jesus wasn't an exaggerated figment of the New Testament writer's imagination. In this video, we are going to go over each source and the part taken away from it to prove the existence of Jesus, as well as the widespread impact Jesus dying on the cross and rising from the dead had. The first source was the Babylonian Talmud, specifically Sanhedrin 43a. In that was the name of Yeshu, which was the name of Jesus in the original language. The text proved that Jesus existed and was crucified on the eve of Passover and performed sorcery, led many people away from the legalistic Jewish teachings, and the Jewish leaders were plotting to kill him. The second source mentioned was historian Flavius Josephus. In his 18th book of the volume Antiquities, he talked about Jesus. After publishing the video, I did find out that some parts of it are controversial, but there was another writing, a 10th century Arabic manuscript of Josephus, that was cited by historian Shlomo Pines of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem in 1977. In it, Jesus was called a wise man, he gathered many people, and that his disciples reported seeing him after 3 days. Even if the source I provided in the original video was controversial, at the very least, the conclusion I made here is true, according to the writer. The third source was historian Cornelius Tacitus. He wrote a piece of work spelled Annals. Unfortunate name. But his writings pointed out that Jesus was sentenced to the cross. A superstition emerged afterwards that spread far and wide, and that Christians were persecuted for their faith. The fourth source mentioned was Pliny the Younger, and his work was a letter to Emperor Hadrian, talking about how to punish Christians who wouldn't convert back to the Roman religion. This source reiterates the widespread presence of Christians as well as their persecution. The fifth video in the series talked about the works of Suetonius. In his works Life of the Emperor Nero and Life of the Emperor Claudius, he addresses the punishment of Christians as well as Christ existing and people believing. The sixth video talked briefly on a lot of things. The writings of Origen and Julius in regards to the death and resurrection of Jesus. Both of these authors essentially said that what happened at the resurrection and the death was real, and that there was no way to justify what happened to Jesus with him rising from the dead, the sky darkening for 3 hours, without God. The seventh video was Maribar Serapian's letter to his son, and in it talks about Jesus being wise and influential, as well as the Jews pushing for his death. With all of these sources, the existence of Jesus, him being condemned to the cross, the widespread of believers that occurred afterwards is indisputable. Jesus existed and died for us. The explosions of new believers has been unmatched with the things that they had at the time, in a world where new religion was less tolerated than it would be today. Now, I would like to end this series with saying, just don't take my word for it. I provided the sources I got my information from, but please, for the sake of yourself, research everything and come to your own conclusion. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this series as much as I have, and have a good rest of your day.